Hello friends, so today we're going to do what I like to call farm flow, a little farm theme yoga for you. And we'll start by extending our legs out long in staff pose. And if you can bring your peace fingers to your big toe, then you can. Just kind of give yourself a little bit of a stretch. And you can look down at your knees and exhale. Take a big deep breath in and straighten out your back and reach your head to the sky. And a deep breath out and look at your knees. And then I like to make a flower with my toes. And wouldn't a toe flower be so stinky, so funny? So you can do it with your fingers too if you want to. And you can make your flower with your toes by putting your balls of your feet together and spreading your toes out really wide. And then take a deep breath in and all the way out as you lean forward. And then when you breathe in, raise your head up and take a deep breath in through your nose like you're trying to smell those flowers on your toes. Are your toe flowers stinky or do they smell good? Breathe all the way out and come down and rest wherever your head falls, whether it's on your knees or your calves, or way down here on your shins. Just let your head relax. And breathe. And then we'll come up and you can press your hands into the floor and straighten out your arms, and then really slowly bring your knees up and into your chest. And we're going to play a little game called Yogi Says, or because I'm a girl yogi, I'm going to call myself Yogini. So I'll be Yogini first, and then you can take a turn at home to do Yogini or Yogi Says at home. So just like Simon says, Yogini says, make peace fingers. Yogini says, grab your big toe. Keep your knees bent. Oh, Yogini didn't say. Just kidding. We're just having fun here. So nobody's out if you got tricked again by Simon or Yogini this time. All right, so let's get going. Yogini says, pretend to be a frog. So I'm going to come into my squat here and put my hands on the floor and push up and jump like a frog. Ooh. Ribbit. Ribbit. Hops. Yogini says, pretend to be a cow. Ooh, so I'm going to put my hands down, my knees down, and I'll go moo as I arch my back. Oh, moo. Yogini says, pretend to be a cat. Oh, so I'm going to be a black Halloween cat. Meow, 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 meow. As I arch my back up. Yogini says, pretend to be a turtle. Oh, so I'm going to put my knees up, my hands between my legs, my turtle flippers out here, and make my round shell. Breathe in as you come up. Okay, Yogini says one more. Pretend to be a butterfly. So put your feet together. Flap your butterfly wings really slowly and gracefully, like a butterfly drying its wings in the sunshine. Doesn't that feel nice? All right, really gently close your knees like a book and then put your feet out wide, out long. And now it's your turn. So at home, you can take turns and pause the video, and you can take turns playing Yogini or Yogi Says at home. So when you're ready, you can come back to the video and continue with the flow, or you can continue with me now and come back to the game later. All right, once you've made your decision, let's come into a flow. So we're going to first come back to those cats and those cows that we were pretending to be during the game. So let's come into a tabletop position. Tabletop like this. I'm going to turn my mat a little bit so you can see a little bit better. There we go. All right. So we're in a tabletop position. Hands underneath your shoulders and knees are underneath your hips. Just like that. And we're going to breathe in and look up as we send our hips up and back, arching our back. Cow pose. Say moo. Deep breath in, and then as we breathe out, we're going to be that big black Halloween cow. Arch your back really big and tall as you exhale all the air out. Meow. And another cow as you breathe in. Moo. Arching your back up. Your bottom comes up, your head comes up. And back into cow. Arch your back up in the air like a black Halloween cat that got really scared. Oh. Okay, now we're going to come back into table, which means that your tummy and your back are straight lines. Your hips are right above your knees, and your shoulders are right above your wrists. If this is hurting your wrists, then you can push through your fingers instead of your palm of your hand. So push through your fingers really strongly, because then we're going to pretend to be a dog. So we need our hands, our fingers to be strong as we bring our knees up and hips back, downward facing dog. Downward facing dog, and we can pedal at our feet and push back, push the mat away. Breathing here, 3 breaths in and out. 2, 3. And then we're going to come down, back into table, put your knees back on the mat, and we're going to come into what we call rock pose. So we're going to sit our hips down on our heels, reach your hands out long, and put your head onto the floor. You can come into this position during any time in class if you're feeling tired or if you're just feeling like you want a little time to yourself. All right. One more breath in child's pose, and then we'll push back up to downward dog. So curl your toes under, send your hips back, straighten your legs as much as you can as you put your heels on the floor. Or if it feels like too much, you can keep that bend in your knees and relax your neck as you push the mat away and breathe. You can wag your doggy tail. You can bend one knee at a time to pretend to be a digging doggy, digging with your feet. All right. And then we're going to come forward and put your knees down, and then uncurl your toes, and we'll come push your hips forward, come into cobra pose, like a straight long line, a snake. And then we'll push our hips back up to downward dog. time. Come forward, knees down, hips come down. Cobra pose. Okay. And then you can come back to table. Let's take some more cats and cows. So up, butts up, bottoms up, excuse me. Heads up. Breathe in and then breathe out. Arch your back. In, up, down, arch your back. Breathe all the way out. And then when you find your table again, when you find your straight, flat back, all squared up, then you can come back into rock. Reach your hands forward, head bows down. All right, then we're gonna take a little break and play leapfrog now that we're all warmed up. So we'll come from our child's pose or from our rock pose, we'll come into a squat. So you can stand up and come down into the squat if that's comfortable, or you can push with your hands into the mat, curl your toes under, and then step your feet out wide. And it doesn't matter if your heels touch or your heels are lifted, it doesn't matter. And we're going to play a little bit of leapfrog. So I don't have any friends here with me, sadly, but you at home, if you have friends with you at home, you can place your, here, I'm going to use this yoga mat as an example. So this is my friend, and if my friend was in rock pose here, like this, then I would, in my froggy squat, put my hands on my friend's back. And I would ask my friend, is this comfortable for you, friend? And if they say yes, then I can push down on my friend's back, and I can use their back as a lever to push myself up and hop over their body. Okay, so I want to make sure that everybody is safe when we're doing this. So we're going to push on our friend's back one time without picking up our feet off the floor. And then we'll ask our friend again, is that okay? And you're just testing a little bit of the pressure on your friend's back. And if they say yes, then you can go ahead and give it a hop forward. And then your friend behind you is going to take a turn. So I will come, after I hop over my friend, I will come into rock pose so that my friend can be the froggy and hop over me, pretending to be the rock. Okay, so if you are ready to take a turn at home, then you can pause the video and take as many turns as you like and come back to the video when you're ready to keep going. I'm going to take a few rounds just as an example, or if you're alone at home, here's what you can do. Just like me, you can have a pillow, a blanket, or a yoga mat and roll it up to pretend to be your friend. This is my little friend here. And I will come from my squat. I will push on my mat and I will hop forward and then backward. And I'm going to do it 4 times. Here we go. 1, ribbit. 2, ribbit. 3, ribbit. 4, ribbit. All right. So from our leapfrog game, we can come into a yogi squat. So push your bottom down to the floor. And if that's uncomfortable, then you can always bring your friendly yoga mat or a block down below you to sit on. There you go. That makes it a little bit more comfortable. So from here, we're going to stand up and we'll get into another little flow. So we're going to stand up all the way and then step your feet out and wide. And your feet should be outside your hips. And your knees are going to come over your feet to this angle here so that it's like a square with the ground. And this is called horse. And we can giddy up our horse, bouncing a little bit. Giddy up, da 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 da. And if this is really tough for you, then you can come out of it a little bit. Or you can come back into that froggy squat by stepping in a little bit and then putting your hands on the floor. Give yourself a little bit of a break. But if this is good, it feels good in your body, you can do horse pose with us. And we're going to, I'll step this way on the mat so that I can demonstrate a little bit. So we'll go from this horse and we'll spin to face the front of the mat. Your hands come down around your foot, okay? And then we step back, downward facing dog. Okay, take a few breaths there. And then we walk our hands up to our feet. And then we can fold over. And then lift up halfway, put your hands on your shins. And find a flat back here. Breathing in, make sure your tummy is strong. Your head is reaching forward. Okay? And then when we come all the way up, we're going to come up with one of our legs into tree pose. So put your foot on the side of your calf. Very nice. And then to come out of tree pose, we'll step forward into our lunge again. And then from your step forward, open back up out into horse on the other side. So now your feet are out, just like they were on the other side in horse pose. Or you can come out a little bit if it's hurting you in any way. Or you can step in a little bit and come into your froggy pose. Okay, from horse pose, we're going to turn. We're going to frame our foot with our hands. So that means put one hand on either side of your foot. We'll step back and push the mat away. Downward dog. Big deep breath here. And then we'll walk our hands back to our feet. And halfway lift, take a deep breath in. And exhale all the air, fold all the way forward. And when we stand back up, take the other leg. So take your left leg, put your foot on your calf, and make your tree pose. It doesn't matter what you do with your hands. You can put them at your heart center, on your hips. You can raise them up in the air. You can balance on a table or the wall. That's okay. We're all practicing. Okay, from your tree pose, step forward. Big step into your lunge again. Okay? And it's okay if you fall, just like I did. We can come back up, get your balance, and then frame your foot with your hands. Step back into your plank and downward dog. Take a couple breaths here. Walk your hands back to your feet. Halfway lift, take a deep breath in, put your hands on your calves, your shins. Straighten your back, reach with your head to the front of your mat. And then fold all the way down. Exhale, breathe out all your air. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, give yourself a hand. That was some really good work, friends. I'm really proud of you for sticking with it. Those poses are really good leg strengtheners. Thank you for staying with me and putting your practice in my hands. Now we're going to cool down a little bit more. So we'll bring our legs out to the front again, just like we did in the beginning of class. But this time, we'll reach straight up and then we'll fall forward. And then we'll do that 2 more times. So reach straight up and come forward. And then I want you to put your hands behind your bottom and put your feet flat on the floor and raise your hips up in the air to make reverse table or crab. Super fun. Bring your hips back down, and when they come back down, you can let your knees come down out to the sides and put your feet together. From here, we're going to come back to those butterfly wings. Do you remember pretending to be a butterfly? Really slowly, we're going to flap our butterfly wings. And if you'd like to, you can open your feet like a book. If that feels okay for you in your body, you can rub your feet. Give yourself a toe flower massage. Rub your feet. Rub your heels, the arches of your feet, your toes. Flap your butterfly wings really slowly and gently, like a butterfly drying their wings in the sun. And then reach up and take a deep breath in. And then rain your hands back down. Wiggle your fingers all the way to your knees. Let's do that 2 more times. Reach your hands up. And this time when you wiggle your fingers back down, pretend they're little bees coming to pollinate your toe flowers. Bzzz. And when we hear lots of bees buzzing all together, sometimes it sounds like a humming noise. Can you make a humming sound? Or buzz with your lips closed? So we're going to breathe in, raise your arms up, and then hum. The bees come down. Hum. Give your toes a little tickle. And one more time. Raise your hands up and breathe in. And hum your bees down. Nice. That always makes me feel really calm and happy when I do my toe flowers pollinated by my bees. You can do that anytime you're feeling a little bit like frazzled. You can come back to your butterfly pose and pollinate your toe flowers with your bees. I'm so happy. So from here, we're going to take a little relaxation. If you're not ready to relax yet, you can do some more animal pretend. You could do legs up the wall, which I'll show you here now. You could bring your bottom to a wall and put your legs up the wall. And this is a really nice way to relax if you're having trouble relaxing. You could come back to rock pose. So here's rock pose. We reach our arms out long, put our knees together, and then sit our bottom back on our heels. Reach forward, put your head down. So legs up the wall, rock pose. Or if you're comfortable, then we can come all the way down to our back. And you can keep your knees lifted and your feet down for one more bridge pose. So we're going to keep our hands and our back on the floor and lift up our hips to just stretch one more time. Keep your knees together. They're trying to come out on you. And then put your legs all the way out long. And I'll sing a little Old MacDonald for 2 verses. And then we'll do a Counting Sheep Savasana relaxation. So if you can be as still as you can, take one more big deep breath and let it all out of your mouth. Settle, sigh, and melt into the floor. Like a butterfly so still on your leaf. Like a caterpillar inside the chrysalis. Let your body relax. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on that farm he had a cow, E-I-E-I-O, with a moo-moo here and a moo-moo there, here a moo, there a moo, everywhere moo-moo. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. On that farm he had a cat, E-I-E-I-O, with a meow meow here and a meow meow there, here meow, there meow, everywhere meow meow. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. On that farm he had a sheep, E-I-E-I-O, with a baba here and a baba there, here ba, there ba, everywhere baba. Let's count some sheep together. We'll count to 20 as we breathe, and we'll count back from 20 as we breathe. Deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,